Do we dare talk about Tesla?
Do it. What's it at today?
Well, let's see. I want to know.
There's a 9-year-old in this world who's thrilled about the Tesla price.
$541 a share. It's up $31 today.
Jesus Christ.
Seth, you asked me to look into this, and I think last week, and you said, give me your opinion.
Yes.
I have no fucking clue. This is the
How can it
most
be?
insane thing I've ever seen. There's no reason to justify what's happening right now. What
Isn't
I
it-
told you I think it is, it's short covering. People that think that the stock was going to go down, they reverse their position to make the stock, to try to make up some of their losses. And that's what I think the majority of the volume is coming from. And volume is shares traded per day.
How many cars did they sell last year?
12.
I mean, what was it?
200,000?
250,000, 200,000?
It should be worth more than Ford and GM.
They are the most valuable car company in the world. And they don't have that many cars on the road. They haven't been profitable for that long. There's no
Are they,
justification.
wait a second, are they even profitable yet?
I don't know. I mean, they've been profitable here and there.
But
overall,
three
I don't
quarters
know.
in their history.
Yeah, it's
not three quarters.
madness.
It's probably like 5 or
This
6.
This is a definition of the cult mentality.
Just the hype is building this price up.
That's what.
Of course.
What else would it be?
There aren't enough smart people in the world to know.
No.
They have,
I know brilliant people who don't understand the basics of investing.
It's probably me.
Last Thursday, they became
Backhanded compliment to yourself.
Yes.
They were not the most shorted company on Wall Street. They went back to that last Thursday, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
So
I mean, there's people that are definitely against them. That shows it.
Don't confuse intelligence with understanding investing, because it's literally the word. I always
true.
hate it when, like, lawyers are pretty smart people.
I'll give you-
and lawyers are literally the dumbest investors in the world. And
I think that physicians are that way.
And physicians are too.
They are brilliant in what they do, but when it comes to money, they don't have it.
That's like saying Warren Buffett would be a great doctor because he's smart. He should listen to him for medicine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that's not what that means. So
Yeah.
I don't want to. Yeah. Anyways, I'm trying to work on myself.
what is I mean, you were telling me you wouldn't get anywhere near Tesla. Buy,
Oh, no.
sell. I mean,
No chance. No chance.
too volatile.
It's not too volatile. It's just
it's too
overpriced.
volatile. I don't know what's happening. I mean, this thing could easily go to 1,000. It could easily go to 200. I have no idea because there's no justification for it to be at 500.
Paul, that financial collapse that everyone was been talking about, it's not happening anytime soon.
Well, it's not happening right now.
I was hearing February, which is so
listen.
close
Don't
away.
listen. Don't listen to anybody who says they know when it's going to happen or when anything's going to happen. Do not listen to that. It's absolute garbage.
Yeah, it's
All
not
I know
predictable.
is that right now, according to Warren Buffett's, what he considers to be the most reliable indicator of values, we are at the highest point it's ever been in history. Higher than 1928 Great Depression, higher than the 1966 super bull market, higher than 1999 and 2000, higher than 2007, 2008. I don't want to hear anybody who says now will be a good time to buy relative to the next. Remember one thing, in 2000, the S&P hit 1,400 some. We're just now at 3,300. Do the annualized return on that one. It's like 3%, 4%. 20 years to go up that amount, and it took a super overpriced market to even get there. So when people say like, "Oh, it'll be fine," in 2000, everybody thought it was gonna be fine, and since then we've done 3 or 4% a year, and we had to have a super overinflated market for that to happen. We are literally, the market should be half of what it is right now. Oh, I know it sounds crazy. Okay, sounds crazy. If you think I'm crazy, I don't blame you. Just keep buying your stocks, but do me a favor. Don't get mad if things go down significantly.
When things go down significantly.
Don't get mad when you have some excuse for it, like, oh, some event happened in the world. All that's happening right now is the market is looking for an excuse at some point to sell off big time. Just like they look for an excuse right now to go up.
That's funny. Listen to this headline I took a picture of this morning. Paul, I think I sent it to you. U.S. stock index futures decline amid China virus worries. So now we're moving based off of viruses in China. That's what our market's moving off of. Everything is looking for news to move. Trade, impeachment, war with Iran.
What is it good for?
They're looking at anything they can to move markets.
Mm-hmm.
So if you believe that markets are fairly priced, great, more power to you. The next 10 or 12 years, you're going to see lackluster returns. And all I talk about is 1999, 2000, where we're more overpriced today than we were back then. And since then, we've gone from 1,415 to 3,300 on the S&P. That is an annualized return of literally like 3.5%. Hang on a second, let me do it. I'll just do the 1400.
You know, it's funny. We got the Bloomberg terminal.
4.38%.
We got the Bloomberg terminal in my office yesterday or Friday, and we were doing some back testing yesterday, looking at we dated it back to 1993, and you can kind of see how things fluctuate and how our returns would have been. It's amazing looking at the .com going into 2008 and seeing what the value investing would do in those times where it's really
Can I
tough
make
for
a comment?
everybody.
Sure, Paul.
1982, valuations were 1/6 of where they are today. Not prices, valuations. So what I mean by that is the stock market to GDP ratio that Warren Buffett loves was at 32%. It is currently at 200%. So 6 times more. From 1982 to 2000, stocks at 15.4%. From 2000 to today, stocks have done 4.4. When people argue with me about what valuations do in the long run, I just say, look at every time in history. Go back to 1966, 1982. Stocks were flat. Where was the GDP ratio? Quadruple the size it was in 1982. 1928, all these times, when you buy at higher valuation levels, you will get a lower return in the long run. It has always worked out that way without fail. That will never, ever change.
No.
It might be different timing. Did I ever think we're going to hit 3,300 S&P? Absolutely not. I didn't think we were going to hit 2,500 S&P.
I mean, like you said the other day, we're going into in March, 11th year.
11th year
bull market without a bear.
Without a bear. That has never happened in history. People tell me bear markets don't die with age. Fine. Listen, 1982, we had the 1987 crash, and people were like, oh, it's happening again. No, stocks were still very good priced even before that crash. It was something completely different that caused the crash. Like always. But anybody who tries to argue with me that the next 10 or 12 years will be great because the previous 10 or 11 years have been great, you are stupid.
I thought it had something to do with circus stocks.
So a
thought it
bull
was a
market
zoo.
is when stocks are going up, a bear market is down. And the reason that's done, they call it that way, a bull fights pushing up, a bear fights by pushing down. So a bull market, now there's different things. There's cyclical and secular bull and bear markets. Secular is long-term, 17 or 20 years. Something like 1966, 1982, where S&P was at 110 and finished at 107, or vice versa. That's a secular bear market because it went sideways for 17 years. 82 to 2000, going from 107 or 110 to 1400, that's a secular bull market. There are a lot of cyclicals, which are shorter term ones in between. But at secular bear and bull markets, you look at valuation. That's what causes big change. And I look at today, going every single metric is either the highest or second highest in history. That never, ever ends up well. Is it possible it goes longer? Absolutely. Have I looked stupid? Absolutely. Will I end up being wrong? Absolutely not. Every good investor in history knows where we stand right now. Look at Warren Buffett's actions.
Is he shorting?
No, he doesn't short.
No.
His personal actions. He's hoarding cash, and he's not. They write it every day. Like, the markets right now are so expensive, we can't find deals that justify our returns. Howard Marks. All these guys are have done really well long term. The best guys in history. It is not a fluke that they all say the same thing.
You've been selling and hoarding cash for a couple of years.
I know.
Mo,
I've actually been shorting. I'm shorting the S&P right now.
Mo, you switched to cash, or you're still buying?
He's bought a little bit.
I'm about 18 to 20% invested.
Oh,
in the market.
Okay, that's what you said. Is it a bad time to buy a house in Mexico or a business by Seth?
No.
No.
First off, you bought a business that's very small that has a lot of potential for growth.
Yeah.
And your product is needed in a lot of areas. It's not like you're buying a very mature cyclical business. You're buying a business that's very small. You paid $80,000 for it.
$47,000.
$47,000 for it. It does $80,000 in revenue.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can grow that very easily.
Yeah.
How are sales going?
He handed us
$7,000 in orders.
Yeah. He handed us $7,000 in orders that he was ignoring since October.
It's a good start.
So that was a great start.
Yeah.
I mean, we ordered 3 pallets of product and got half of it out the first week.
I saw Gio working the line. I
Yeah.
do very much like that you're like so into this though.
Well, I'm telling my kids it's their company.
Oh,
Because
really?
I want to instill with them very quickly that they don't have to work for someone, because I didn't figure that out till I was probably 35.
Well, speaking of being their company, if you want to put it in their names now's the time to do it and have it grow in their names so you avoid estate taxes in the future.
Is it true?
Yes.
100%. But
100%.
you got to be able to trust her. Put it in a trust. That way, if they end up being like terrible people, you can feed the money out to them. But yeah, you should buy. Since it was such a small amount, you should put the ownership in their name.
Well, in actuality, the heating company bought this company, and I bought stock in the heating company.
Which heating company?
This is Grid Heating, the company that Harry bought.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little confusing with the tax.
But your ownership could be owned by your kids.
Well, that's true. I have to look into that. But either way, there's actually two businesses. Go ahead, Mo.
No, go ahead. You're talking about the business.
Oh, there's two
Keep going.
businesses that grow. It's not only the dry graphite film business that I now own, and I'm like basically the president, but it's a part of the Grid Heating business, which apparently is a gold mine in itself with zero marketing. So
what's Grid Heating?
So they sell industrial heaters. So like Chicago O'Hare Airport ordered like 24 of them. They're about $10,000 a piece, and they get strapped to the rafters. And it's apparently they're the last and best like pot metal steam heaters. It's really weird to think about. They look like they have large metal castings with fins, and they run hot water through it. And then when the air passes through a fan, it heats it up.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah. Anyway, so I'm kind of basically part of that business as well.
Oh,
and both of which could be
multi-million-dollar businesses.
I think so.
Oh, let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope
awesome.
so.
Is it a bad time to buy in Mexico? No, I think it's is it a bad time to buy in the United States real estate? Yeah. But is it a bad time in Mexico? No, I think it's actually a good time.
We've bought in the U.S. real estate. You have to find the right deal.
You have to find the right deal. But going down there, I look at the property that I bought. I'm like, man, this thing is. There's reasons why it's cheap. It was on the market for 3-4 years
at a really high price.
At a very high price, they dropped it to a good price. We made a deal. I mean, looking at travel ban, all this stuff, maybe that drove the price down. I don't know, but I think we got a great deal.
So at that price and the returns you're expecting, how long does it take to get your money back until you start making money?
Well, we're already making money because it's still an asset we bought. So we can sell that asset. I don't look at it. A lot of people look at it that way. Like, oh, I got my money back.
Sure.
I don't look at it that way. I look at it as I bought an asset that if 3 years from now I got 40% of my money back, it doesn't mean I'm still down 60%. I can still sell that asset and get the other money back.
But you mean how much?
We're hoping
until we get over 800,000 revenue.
Yeah.
800,000 in profit.
In profits, yeah.
I'm hoping that with our new methods and new properties, we'll be making consistent. Like one of my houses did 17% a year for a while. The other one didn't. This one could. We're putting them all together, and my goal is to expand the business and make 15 to 20% per year for the entire business, not just the entire portfolio, not just the one house.
Not the one house, right?
So that's 5 to 6 years to get your money back.
Yep.
I think we'll do a whole podcast
for you
on
peasants who think of things that way. I look at those things on the payback in terms of sometimes investing in, hey, I'm going to go replace my heater, and it's going to save me X amount. For example, I want to put in a portion of my driveway to be heated. I want to calculate, okay, if I'm spending $600 a year or whatever it is on snow plowing and labor and everything, or $1,000,
sure,
and my heated driveway cost me $5,000 to install, and it cost me $500 a year to operate. What's my payback period? 10 years. Okay, seems reasonable for me. Sounds good. Let's do that. That's the way I look at those things. But I don't look at it when I'm buying an asset for investment perspective like that. And people might say, well, there's no difference. Well, there is a difference. One's my house, and I just like the idea. One of the reasons I want a heated driveway is because there's so much ice on my driveway right now. I get scared about somebody slipping and falling, including me.
Yeah, I almost bit it a couple days ago. I mean, it's scary.
At your house?
Yeah, I mean, I was going downstairs and I was like, oh, this is it. Just like the waterfall. I was like, yep, I'm gone.
You had a rough couple weeks.
Yeah.
With balance.
Boy, I need to get on that Bosu ball. All right, Paul.
Subscribe.
Like, subscribe.
Subscribe on our YouTube channel right now. Please subscribe that button because we're trying to increase it because it allows us to do other things that are wonderful and great. We want to bring more guests on.
Yep.
And we're told by producer Don we have to ask for it at the beginning and end of every episode.
Thanks for listening. LuxuryZOL.com. Go there and book a Mexico trip. Best trip of your fucking life, right?
It is.
Come on.
Absolutely.
I guarantee that.
Doesn't get any better.
Or money back.
Yeah.
That's true. Thanks, guys.
All right. Talk to you later.
Love you.
Bye.